Hear it hitting the water? That's the rain hitting the water.
It's cool, eh?
Yeah.
Water smoothed out though. I'm picking that tea before I go to bed tonight.
There's another band of rain there coming in. So it's just going on 4 o'clock. We're in Lifou Island in New Caledonia. This, I think, will be the last of the tenders, the lifeboats they're using as tenders to go out to this beach. Now, this beach was absolutely amazing. It had white sand, powder coral sand, right to the ocean edge, and coconut trees right to the beach edge. But the swimming pool, but it had sharp coral in the water, so you need some sort of aqua shoe to swim here. We went on a shore tour across to the other side of the island, and there was an absolute amazing bay there that was protected by a reef, and we spent some time at the village there, and that was beautiful white powder sand, no coral in the swimming area, and it was just absolutely amazing. So this will be the last one going on, the last tender, so we'll set sail in within the hour. We'll be off, and that'll be cruising all night tonight, a day at sea tomorrow, all night the next night, and then we'll arrive in Lautoka in Fiji. And because of the bad weather in Mystery Island, that's why we've come here. I'm wondering if we'll go out there and turn right this way and go around the top of New Caledonia and head to Fiji from the top of New Caledonia and miss Vanuatu completely. So the stern thrusters are on, we're changing direction. Don't know what boat that is, that must be one of the locals. Or I don't know if they have a harbour master here or whatever. Well, there's another boat coming up beside us. Yeah. Maybe. So we're changing direction there, ready to head out there. And I'm wondering whether we'll head out and turn right. And this is Andy looking very, very comfortable in her chair. Say hi to everybody.
Hello everybody.
I'm seeing more rain out there on the horizon, out that way. So that boat is heading back into shore. And that was an absolutely awesome day on Lifou Island. This banner on my hat was the welcoming gift that I got when we arrived. Andrea's got hers on there. She's looking very comfortable there. Andrea's got hers on there. She's looking. Andrea's got hers on there. She's looking very comfortable with her banner on there. Sure. But that was an absolutely awesome day on Lifou Island, and I came away with the distinct feeling that I'm doing life wrong. Yeah. There were people there on the island who said that none of them are working and they're living in this paradise, living simply what's the word?
No stress?
No, there's a word for it. It's substantive living, and it's different to the way we live, but they all look happy, they all look healthy.
It's all about community and family.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing? I mean,
it's all simple.
You saw images or movies of the beaches we were on, completely different to Castle Cliff in Wanganui. And when we think about the way we live and the stress and the routine of our lives, what the hell are we doing? You know. So there looks like a bigger community there, village there. We were there. There's that church on the hill. We were in there. There's the jetty there. That's where we were. Over there. Yeah, over there. That's where we were. That's where that church on the hill is. And there was some rain out there just a little while ago. Some rain moved over there.
So I wonder what they're going to do tonight. I wonder if they're going to have a big cook-up and a party, you know.
Yeah.
A successful day of tourism.
So this was Lifou Island in New Caledonia. And we came here because the weather in Vanuatu, Mystery Island, was too bad for the tenders that we had to go ashore, so we came here instead. And if we didn't come here, we would never have known that this place existed.
The beach we went to this morning would have been a very hard beach to beat anything. The lifestyle, the water, the sand, the lookouts, the scenery, but even just the local guys in the boat, just patrolling to just make sure all of us were safe. You know, their customer service, what we would call customer service, was just absolutely spot on. You know, they were so welcoming, so friendly. The boat should stop at this island a lot more. It should help to boost the economy here. People should know about this place, because I don't think you're going to beat that bay that we were in.
That was perfect.
That was a perfect bay. That would be something that you would see in a movie, but it was real life, you know. It was crystal clear water. The sand was right through, so you didn't have to worry about any type of shoes, aqua shoes or aqua socks.
No coral, it was powder soft.
There was bits of coral every now and again, but I mean, that's to be expected. The thing is, it wasn't laced with coral where it was cutting your feet or hurting your feet, and it was just all powdered sand. The coral had been smashed up to powder, so it was pure white, and the ocean was this magnificent blue jewel, and it was this almost a violet neon blue, and then you had the darker blue, and then the reef a little bit further out with the waves crashing. And then we came back to this other bay. Although it was great and the waters was perfect, you couldn't compare it.
No, that other one was just amazing.
You just couldn't compare the two, and that's why the tour guide said this is the best beach on the island. And I tell you what, they should be going to that beach more. But in some ways you don't want them to go, because blimmin' tourists would ruin it. You know, we were very privileged to be there today, I think. They survive on tourism on this island, and they need more of it, but
at the same time they don't, because they don't often come here.
Well, as you said, you know, you go down towards some of the coral and there was a bottle there.
Yeah.
You know, how sad's that? And you can't remove the bottle because it's already grown coral on it, so it's become part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
But isn't that sad?
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be like that, but if you bring more tourists in, you might have more instances of that happening, but it would be almost like a jewel that you want to hide.
Yes.
But you don't, because the locals need the tourism, they need the help.
Yeah, so we came here because of the weather in Vanuatu. Mystery Island was bad, and if we didn't, we would never have known that this place existed.
I don't know how many boats like us would stop in, but everyone seems to be going to Mystery Island, into Vanuatu. They sidestep these ones, but as the tour guide said, there's 11,000 people on this island, and the only thing that sustains them is tourism, and they want people to know about this place.
And at the same time, it's not, because the tourism doesn't come here.
That's right. That's exactly it. You know, I mean, it just so happens that we came here, and in a short notice, because it was cancelled yesterday,
Yeah.
we're here today. Within that time, they had organised
Buses.
cultural dances, a market with souvenirs from the local people. Barbecues were going, local food and drink was going. Of course, fresh coconut drinks were going. So literally overnight, they had pulled the whole community together to provide for 2,000 people off this boat, 2,500 people off this boat.
Wow.
I mean, sure, not everyone would have gone ashore, but hell, a lot of them did.
Yeah.
That beach was packed.
All right, thank you for that, Andy. We'll check back with you guys in just a moment. Look at that moon up there.
On the pier 15 minutes prior.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely doing an arc around to the right. So I wonder if we'll go down this side of the island. At the moment we're still facing straight out, so we could go straight out. But we're definitely arcing around here. That's where we've come from. So looking behind us where we've come from, there's a big rain cloud there, dumping rain into the ocean. So we did come out. That's where the rain is now, where we were. It's now raining in there now. So we did come out and we did veer right. So we're going around the top of Lifou Island and we're going to go to Fiji via the top of New Caledonia, missing out Vanuatu completely. And we're just getting some spatter from rain where we are, so we might have to move from here shortly.
Should have shown.
There's a big rain head there. That's over the settlement where we were, the village where we were. We just had an announcement come over the intercom just a little while ago. We are doing 16 knots and we're in 3,000 meters of water, so that's 3 kilometers deep. Now the weather has been a little bit rainy. We bypassed Vanuatu and Mystery Island because the weather was too bad. So it was a bit rough overnight. Hasn't been too bad today, a little bit rainy and a lot of cloud out there, which sort of comes and goes, but we're okay sitting here where we are. It's not so bad here, and we'll be in Lautoka, Fiji tomorrow morning. It's not cold, it's rainy, but it's not cold, not at all. Probably because we're here in the tropics. But no, we're doing really well. We had a fantastic time in Lifou Island. We didn't go to Mystery Island. We went to Lifou Island, New Caledonia instead, and that was amazing. It was beautiful weather. The area we went to, they don't normally get tourists come by, so they're very, very simple living. Coconut trees down to the water's edge, and beautiful white sand, but it wasn't sand, it wasn't granulated sand, it was powdered coral, ground up coral, very, very soft. So that's where we're at the moment, and we're doing really well. There's Andy on her iPad. Yeah. To what I said last time. So the time is 5:07 a.m. Camera won't pick it up, but I can see stars, so all of that weather has cleared. And I don't know if you can see the lights there. There's land over there. And we are approaching Nandi, Fiji, and we're going to go up the coastline past Nandi and pull in Lautoka. So that's Fiji right there, and the lights just over there is Nandi. So it's 20 past 5 a.m. There's a little marker there we're passing. And we're just a little bit closer now to Nandi. It's not even a marker, it's a boat coming past. I thought it was a marker. But it's a boat. And the boat's coming around alongside, so it must be some sort of pilot or a pirate, but no, it'll be some sort of pilot boat. I don't know why we'd need a pilot here though, because over there's Nandi. We're not going to Nandi, we're going to Lautoka. Unless of course this is Lautoka. So the reason I thought this was Nandi is because on the TV screen in there, the display, it showed our position out at sea approaching Nandi, and it showed Lautoka further around the top, which is what I expected. But it could well be that Nandi is in fact down there and this is Lautoka. So if that's the case, we're almost here. I don't know if you can see that. That's an airplane coming. I can see its lights reflecting in the water below. There was one coming that way. That's how I knew it was an airplane. And I can see the sun sort of well, it's not coming up yet, but it's going to come up over there. The sky is changing colour. And we do appear to be turning away from there, and if that's the case, then that will be Nandi, and we'll be following the coastline up this way to Lautoka. So if that is the case, and we do appear to be turning away now, if that is the case, this will be Nandi, and we'll be following the coastline all the way up and around to Lautoka. Yeah, so we have turned and going along the coastline. That'll be Nandi. And we'll be going around the top of Fiji to Lautoka. So I don't know yet. That seems a little bit close to be Lautoka there. If that's Nandi, I wonder if this is all of this. I wonder if all of this is Nandi, because that looks like a bigger city area than that. But if that's Nandi, that just seems a bit close for Lautoka at this stage. So we'll find out as we get closer, I guess. But that looks like a bigger city area than what's over here to my right. Be interesting to see whether we carry on past this or not as well, but it just seems more likely that that is Nandi, if that's not. But it just seems too close to be Lautoka, so we'll find out as we get closer. So according to this display, we shouldn't even, well, maybe that is Nandi. I can see up that way. The other one that I saw was just a little village, but so we're heading towards Lautoka up the top there, and we can't wait for this view to change. So Nandi is still ahead of us, and then that must have been a smaller village, but we've still got a bit to go. Yeah, so that must be a smaller village over here, and And
Nandi over there.
yeah, this is Nandi over here. Lautoka is still further round.
Look how smooth the sea is.
I know,
Considering what we've been through.
I know. And the stars look big.
No waves.
No. So we've had a rough couple of days as we left Noumea. We were supposed to go to Mystery Island, but because of the weather we went to Lifou Island, which was absolutely amazing, and then we punched through Vanuatu and missed it completely, but the weather was actually quite rough. And now it's humid, it's warm, it's calm, the skies are clearer, we can see the stars, there's no waves.
Quiet.
Sun's slowly coming up, still below the horizon at the moment. And the time is 5:48, so not quite 6 o'clock. So Nandi is actually quite big. Covers quite a big area. I don't know what that other place down there was. There's a plane coming in there. There must be Nandi Airport over there. And when our son was over here, he must have gone to a village over here. That looks like a fishing vessel. That one over there might be another fishing vessel or cargo or something. Some higher rise buildings over there. Actually, there's another ship over there as well. And that plane's just about to land now, so the airport must be over there somewhere. And there looks like another plane coming in from that direction. So we're docked in Lautoka. The port is on the other side of the ship to where we are. And on this side of the island it's very mangrovey. There's no white sand beaches or coconut trees on this side of the island. But there's a lot of mangroves.
If you've been out to the Mud Pools Islands,
Yeah?
that'd be more of the beaches and
Yeah.
not here.
So that looks like a little village in there amongst the mangroves. So we've gone 1,844 nautical miles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's no biggie.
So we're just on the docks of Lautoka and we're waiting to go on an excursion. we're going on the mud pool one. We were supposed to be going on the catamaran out to the islands to do snorkeling, but that one's been cancelled because not very many people booked it. So we're going on a different one. We're just waiting for the assembly point for that one, but this is our ship. 290 meters long. So we're just waiting for our one. They're just getting everybody organized for the tours. Natural thermal mud pool, so that's our one over there. We'll go and stand over there, eh? Yep. It looks like our one there.
Because as you were out in the sea, did you see the black clouds? Yeah. Well, it came and then it tried to welcome you, and then the sun started to come out. Another beautiful day. So the word bula is a greeting. You say bula any time of the day. When you talk about bula, you talk about health. You are all in good health. Did I speak English well? Oh, thank you. Very well. So the word bula is a greeting you say any time of the day. And then to say thank you to Lydia and Daya, you say vinaka. If you forget, just say vinegar. I'll think you say vinaka. Vinegar, there you go. So, and you can put the two words together. It's much more of a formal of a greeting. So you can say bula vinaka. It's much more formal of a greeting. But otherwise, the bula is a welcome. You talk about bula, you talk about health, and also you say that any time of the day. Yes, I said that. Used to be a teacher. At times I repeat. I still have those. Any teacher here? Okay, thank you. So I can teach you all now. You don't understand anything that I said. I didn't bring my Oxford dictionary, but you can help me to explain that. Vinaka. So you've landed in Lautoka, the second largest city and the second port of entry. Suva, the capital, is a 4 hours drive from Lautoka. We go south, down that way, yeah? So that is Lautoka. It's about a 4 hours drive from Lautoka is Suva, the capital, and the main port of entry. Today, your itinerary of the day, we will be visiting the thermal mud pool. If you don't want to get yourself covered with mud, it's okay. You can just get into the hot spring or the hot pool. You can do that. If you don't want to paint yourself for 10 minutes like a devil, then it's okay. You can just go onto the hot pool straight away. So we're gonna go to the mud pool and then we come back. So we should be back home a little after 1. So if you walk quickly around the pool and then we'll be quickly back home. If you take your Fiji time by the pool, then we'll be get home by Fiji time 2 p.m. So at the pool, we will have the kava ceremony. They will welcome you. The villagers in the pool at the mud pool area. These are the family from the village of Sambeto and Natalau, so they will welcome you with the kava ceremony, and we will be choosing our chief for the day. You'll be looking after your little tribe today. We are bus number 1. Any volunteer for a man? So going to be the man that will be. Oh, okay, my friend. Thank you. That's easy. And what was your name again? John or George? John. Okay, so Chief John will look after the little tribe today. You will drink the first kava, and you'll be the first one to go into the lava, and then we'll only bring your legs back. We'll leave you there. The rest we'll get them to eat them up. Bulavinaka. So my people came all the way from Lake Tanganyika in South Africa. So we are the descendants of the African and the native of Fiji. All the way from Africa. If you see this big land mass, it is still happening today of overpopulated and little land. So Chief Lutuna Samba Samba and his Egyptian wife, this is an African man, a chief himself, with his Egyptian wife, gathered their tribe one morning and said, let's go out and look for land. If you're going to be here for the rest of the time, there'll be no land for ours and our children, our generation to come. So they boarded a double hull canoe. If you see this big landmass of Africa, you have Lake Malawi, Lake Victoria, and Lake Tanganyika. My people came from Lake Tanganyika. Today it's near Tanzania. So, you see me? Look like an African? Taller, short, dark-skinned people. A Fiji hair, which is also be my pen holder. So we live in the village with our chief and our tribe. When Fiji was ceded to Great Britain in 1874, then the British brought our Indian families over. They signed an agreement. It's called a Girmit. G-I-R-M-I-T. It's an agreement. You go to Fiji for 5 years. Once you're done with the 5th year comes in, if you want to come back to India, you may. If you want to stay back, there's a lot of work to be done. Okay? So Daya, our driver, is a descendant of the Girimatias. So it's an agreement. So from 1879 when they came in, on the 14th of May, coming up next week, it's a long weekend for us today because tomorrow we celebrate Girimit Day, the day of their arrival. It's more than 100 years ago. Yes. So it's a public holiday tomorrow. So most of the shops will close. Today, most of the shops in town Sunday. Business hours are from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. Yesterday, Saturday, half a day. Today, everybody's going to church. But because the ship has arrived today, so they've also arranged few shops where you see the shuttle that goes down to the city into Lautoka. Okay? Only few shops, but the rest are closed. And also the farmers market, they close. But the farmers who don't celebrate or who don't go to church today, 7 days advantage, and most of our Indian families, they will be selling their produce just outside the market. Okay, quick look to the right. Can you see those yellow big piles? Those are wood pine chip. Yeah, it's a wood pine chip. There you go. So it's Caribbean pine. It's another source of income for us. Our main market is Japan. So they make the papers, apply boards, and then they send it back again to us. So Caribbean wood pine chips. And then from the wood pine chips and onto, we're going to be turning towards Nadi to the mud pool. It's a biggest sugar mill. So Lautoka is the location of our biggest sugar mill. So in 1929 it was just a little town, and because of the sugar mill in 1977 then it became the city. Because a lot of people had come down to Lautoka to work at the sugar mill. So Lautoka is our second port of entry, and second port of entry, and it's the second largest city. So we are on the western division. This is where the sun sets. If the sun comes up in the afternoon, as you sail on your way to your next destination, you will see the beautiful sunset in the afternoon. So we are in the western division, and this is where the drier side of the country. So 332 islands of ours was discovered in 1643 by Abel Tasman. So he came through Australia, and then he sighted the island of Tasmania and named the island after him, and the journey came down to Fiji. When he arrived here, my people were cannibals in those days. So you just come in the right time.
Dinner served.
No. Yeah, so he arrived here. When he arrived, it was during turtle breeding season. So he came and he saw this tiny little turtle. The baby one started small canoe towards the big ship, he knew his danger coming in. He started the engine and went away. Then it was left for Captain James Cook. He overheard. Tasman had said, don't go, it's very dangerous out there. They're black people, they might get hold of you and eat you. So he left and went away to Tahiti. Then it was left for Captain William Bligh, 1789. Okay? So it's, when I say 332 islands, it's Captain William Bligh's navigation. So he did and plot in such a way, out of this scattered 332 islands, he did it in such a navigation that anywhere you go to Fiji, same day and same time. Okay? So we are on Fiji's biggest island. It's called a Viti Levu. Viti Levu means the bigger land. And the second largest, it's called Vanua Levu. If you see the map of Fiji, you see two big islands. So we are on Viti Levu, and on the north is Vanua Levu. The third largest is Taveuni, where the 188th Meridian International Dateline runs through. I took the other day on Friday, today's Sunday. On Friday I took a couple that just came off the flight, on the LA flight. And she goes, Lydia, the lady, wow, today is, she was looking at her watch, trying to fiddle around with the phone and trying to find out what is today. I said, oh, Bula, today is Friday. You've lost your Thursday. I said, I think so. I said, don't worry, when you're going to get home, you'll gain that day again that you lost. Okay. So I said to her again and told her, the third largest island of Fiji is where the 180th Meridian International Dateline runs through. And the island is called Taveuni, or everybody refer it as a garden island. Because with the island itself, you are surrounded with coconut trees. So you'll never go hungry if you're going to get lost there. You have the green coconuts, you have the brown coconuts, which the green one, I think in the mud pool, they also, the little ones, it's school holidays, the little ones go and climb coconut and they sell it for $5. You can try the green coconut juice. And then once you're done with the coconut juice, then ask them to cut the coconut so you can add the flesh. It's very jelly and it's very nice. And so the matured coconut we use for cooking. Yeah, so that was Lautoka. We are now has drive out of the city of Lautoka, another 34 kilometers into Nadi. But we are not going to go right to the city of Nadi because we all choose to visit the mud pool today. Yeah? So once we arrive at the mud pool, they will welcome you with flower lei. Okay? Flower lei. And then Chief John will lead everyone to where they all wait for us. There's two buses. We are on the first one. The second one, they were just filling up as we were pulling out. So there's two buses. Remember, you're with Mama Lydia. And make sure you don't get onto the wrong bus. It's Chief John's duty to make sure. You can call us by name. You just go Chief John and everybody will follow you. That's our code for today. Chief John, and then we all know, okay, we are in Chief John's bus and Mama Lydia and driver Daya. Okay, so yes. So they came in 3,500 years ago. And on the way up, if you see this big landmass of Africa, Lake Malawi, Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika. So mine came from Lake Tanganyika. Today it's New Tanzania. When they come to the mouth of the river, they saw one island. You know, it's happening in any family. We always have some disagreement at times. Can be a younger uncle. My dad is the eldest, and then younger uncle will say, hey, we don't want to arrive alive to where we are all going. We don't want to go. So today to Madagascar. Remember that movie, King Julius? Well, they occupied Makaraka, today's Madagascar, and they entered the Indian Ocean. Instead of follow the current, they move against the current. They came up and then into Indonesia. Then they ran out of food. So they enter their boat or the canoe next to the Bay of Jakarta, and the man goes out. to look for food. On the way in, they brought some women. Men will always be men. So in tomorrow, a marriage has taken place. So, oh yes, you can see the ducks and the chooks. Yeah, the farmers. Remember I said?
Is that for eating or for...
It is for eating. Yes. Yeah, the farmers are coming out instead because the big market, the big farmers market in the city is closed. So either outside of the market or just on the main highway. So you will see a couple of those little sheds outside or along the highway. These are the farmers today. They bring their chooks or the ducks. No geese, no goose here. They can't. It's too hot for them. So the chicken and the ducks, also the goats and the cows. These were all introduced to us by the early settlers and early missionaries that arrived here in those early Fijian days. Yes. So they got these women on board, intermarriage has taken place, then they entered the South Pacific Ocean. Some got off in the Solomons, some in Vanuatu, some in Papua New Guinea, and some carried the journey down to Fiji. So we are the groups of people called the Melanesian. Tall or short, dark-skinned people and Fiji hair that I have. Polynesians, yes, they started migrating because they found hardwoods in Fiji for building homes and building canoes. In those days, they were cannibals in those days, fighting over land, fighting over power. They believe in voodoo, in goddess, and that they carve a wood that they all worship it, and they say that is their gods. That's why when 1830, when the London missionary arrived, Captain Reverend David Cargill arrived, he found it very hard because they all asked, where's your God? So he was pointing at the stone and pointing at the wood. They said, this is our God. And where is your God? So he looked up into the sky, he held on to the Bible, and then, oh my God, we can only see the clouds and the stars at night and moon at night. And then he said, yes, my God is in your heart. And so 1830, they came in to try and convert these chiefs in Fiji. 14 provinces or 14 estates, 14 states, 14 paramount chiefs. They tried to convert these chiefs. It was a bit difficult because some of them were still cannibals. And then it was left for Reverend John Wesley. Okay, so John Wesley, Johnny Wesley. Okay, Wesley, so he came in. And then because the other two had come in early, 5 years earlier, the Fijian chief had started hearing of God. Okay? There's only one God that you will have to serve. In those days, Fijian chiefs were entitled to 6 and 7 wives. The legally the one that he married to, all her children beyond hair. But you'll have other women or concubine that they say. They have children from the chief, but their children do not have any saying in the chiefly home. Okay? So chiefs, we live in the village, okay? Indigenous Fijians, we live in the village with our chief and our tribe. We live in big extended family. Papa and Nana is home with us. We have a nursing home, but if anybody send Papa and Nana to the nursing home, we go, what's wrong with you? Because our belief is, you look after me when I was small, it is my obligation, my duty to look after you when you grow old. That's why they say, Fijian village right there on the right, homes are very big. We live in big extended family. I don't worry if I go to work, my little ones, you go to Uncle, John, you go to Uncle, Terry and Auntie Lisa, they look after you. It takes a village to raise a child here, Now we look after one another, and you will see them today. Those that will be going on the first service this morning, and those that will take care of us today. And when the other ones come back again, and these ones will attend the afternoon for the ones that look after us. In the morning, yes. We also have an afternoon tour as well. Another group is coming, they do the afternoon one. So yes. So we get to the And then they will also have some refreshment for us. You will be welcomed by the kava ceremony. It is a traditional Fijian drink. It comes from a metisticum plant. We grow this plant. We cut the cuttings and dug them down into the ground. We grow 4, 5, 6, and 7 years. The more you grow, just like the wine, the more you grow, the mature and the tastier comes. So yes, we'll all taste the kava. So when you see it, they will mix the kava. It looks like a muddy water. It's brown in color. Yes, looks like a muddy water. So you will, with those of you that want to taste it, you may, because once you taste the first, it will numb your tongue. So you'll take another one, then you feel better. Alright, a Muslim mosque right there. We're running through a Indian community. Okay, when our Indian families came in, they live in community next to their farms. So as we go in, all along, you've seen the mosque there. That's for Indian family Muslims. And as we travel, you see a red flag or a colorful temple in front of a home that belongs to a Hindustani Indian family. Okay? So they fence the flag very well. Every morning and evening, the family get together to say their prayer. Then they select a day. So our Indian Hindus, their sacred animal is a cow, so they don't eat beef, but they drink milk and eat cheese and butter. And our Muslims, their main day of prayer is always be on a Friday at 1 o'clock. The men go to the mosque and the women stay home. Okay? With us in Fiji, intermarriage has taken place. A young Fijian girl marrying a Hindu or a Muslim man, it's acceptable in a family. Or even a Hindu girl marrying a Muslim man, it is acceptable in our family. And some had converted into Christianity. So I was talking about the Methodist mission, 1835, then 1845, 10 years later came the Roman Catholic. So today we have other denominations. Jehovah's Witness, 7 Days Adventist, Pentecostal movement, Assemblies of God. Yeah. So you name them, we have them here. There's a school we're running through on the left and onto the right. The Indian school, the Gurukul primary or elementary. It's school holiday now. This week is the second week for their school holidays. So yes, schools are run by community. Indian school, a religious school, a Catholic school, Assemblies of God school, a Muslim school. It doesn't matter where you send your little ones to. All the curriculum and subjects are taught in school are all in English, from kindergarten, preschool, right up to year 13. So everybody speaks in English here. Everybody speaks in English. I don't understand any of those English words that have been said in the class. I'll go through my Oxford dictionary to find the meaning of the word. Okay, so that's us for today. Remember that they will do a welcome cover ceremony. First they will welcome us with flower lace, beautiful. You will smell very nice, those little flowers that they put on you to wear the garland. And then once we get to the area and the other group, the other bus will join us. They'll also have their own chief. Chief John is for us, coach number 1, with Mama Lydia and Daya. And you will see the warrior will serve the drinks and give it to you, okay? We'll take Chief John as an example for each and every one of us. When they will approach you with a bowl of kava, remember kava, okay? The Pacific Island had called it kava, but which is commonly known as the traditional drink. But in Fijian we call it yagona. Y-A-Q-A-Q-O-N-A, Yagona. Right? But we say kava so everybody can remember that simple word, kava. So when the bowl bearer will serve you with a kava, you will cup clap once. It's cup clap, Then you receive the bowl, don't want to taste it, it's okay. Just tell them Vinaka. Okay? Right. Sometimes they go high tide or low tide. High tide, they want it full, that bowl, and low tide, just a little bit. Okay? So you're gonna go low tide, and they serve you a little tiny out of it. Eh? So yeah, so that's the kava today. After the kava ceremony, then they divide you into groups. The tour guides will be there to take you. They have a changing room. They have a convenient toilet as well in there. Eh? They divide you into groups. And after your the tour, if you want massage, they have the ladies there who do massage, and you pay them. It's $40 for half an hour. When you see the price, we're talking Fiji dollar. Okay? $1 US is $2.10 Fiji, and that's the exchange rate. $1.32 Australian, $1 Australian, $1.32. I believe you have some cash, with you. Right, good one. You change some with you, yeah, it will be easy. But if you have, they do accept other currency, but the exchange rate I'm saying. Yeah, New Zealand, if you have one New Zealand, it's $1.30 Fiji. And so that's your exchange rate for today. Sometimes if you give $20 US, that will be for the half an hour massage. Very nice. By the time you're done, you get to the ship. If you're very tired, by the time you're done with the massage after your mud bath or the hot spring bath, you are just on top of the world. Okay? So the ladies are there, they do the massage as well. If you want to do massage because of the limited time, you can go and do the first mud bath first, so you can come out quickly and get to your massage. So just to let you know, so we don't pull everybody back by the time we have to go home. Yeah, so if you want to do that, okay, Mama Lydia, I want to go and book the massage. Okay, so you move with the first group that go to do the mud bath thing. Okay, so yes. Alright, so that is for us today. Then we have some refreshment. They'll provide us with some refreshments of some homemade cookies and some homemade pastry they do. And then you can have that. That is part of your tour today. And some juice and some water. I think they'll do that for us. So enjoy the whole package because you paid for that. And thank you again for choosing to come with us today. So yes. So that's for us today. And then we board by 12 o'clock, I believe. We should be back by 1 o'clock, a little after 1. Back at the ship. Yes. So all these are the Indian settlements, and coming up shortly on the left here is the village of Lomo Lomo. To the village of Lomo Lomo. Look on your right. Look on your right. Can you see the railway? See, they're very narrow. Okay. Cane farmers that cannot afford to buy a tractor to clear their land, they'll use the pair of bullocks and oxes as we go. You will see them grazing along the main highway. They use that. But those that can afford to buy a tractor, then they will use that to clear their land. So that's sugarcane. Can you see a green plantation there? Those are sugarcane. We are into our growing season of sugarcane from January to June. Comes next month. By July to December, it's cane harvesting season, so they use cane knife. We have a cane harvester machine. They said, I was talking to farmers the other day on Thursday, because my uncle also owned a cane farm. So we were talking. I said, how do you guys, because we have the cane harvester, and they said it's very expensive. to get the cane harvester. So one family from here and another family and another family, about 4 or 5 families get together when it's cane harvesting time. Then they harvest this family first, and then they go to the other one, and they go to the other one. And after they harvest the cane, then they burn the whole sugarcane plantation. So the new shoot of sugarcane automatically grows up after cane harvesting season. It takes them 3 to 4 years. Then they clear the whole land after they harvest, and they replant a new plantation, sugarcane plantation. So yes, so cane farmers cannot afford to buy a truck, load their cane. When it's cane harvesting time, then they have to wait for the locomotive choo-choo train. So as we were coming, like I said again, we are actually they'll have to wait until the other families, there are like 3 or 4 families come together and they harvest the cane. So after the harvesting of cane, then you can burn the sugar cane. Alright, in another 5 minutes time we should be arriving to the junction, and then our road to the mud pool is unsealed. It's not tar seal, it's just a gravel road. So we'll experience a little bit of humping and jumping. Okay? And we hope you brought all your towels and your change of clothes. Like I said, we have the changing room there and also the toilets are there as well. And sometimes the lady, they bring their little handicraft that they make at home. They sell them, so you will have to, they don't have the machine. Remember that there's no F-box machine there. So it's only cash, yeah? If you need help, just tell them, okay, Lydia, I have $20 here, but I've purchased that. Sometimes they said, okay, do you want to take anything else? Because they might don't have the change. So, just to let you know. Vinaka, we are onto the road that goes to the mud pool. Anybody's birthday today, the 11th of May? No, yesterday, someone's birthday yesterday, tomorrow, next week, next month. Yes. In a couple of months. In a couple of months. You can all celebrate it today in advance. So yes, so another 10 to 12 minutes up to the mud pool. We'll hope that you all enjoyed. This is something that I do in a month because we work in the office of air conditions and catching up, age of 50, more than 50 years. You know, the early morning and the air conditions in the office. I come and do this mud bath twice. I'm lucky if not really busy, then I always make sure at least a month. Because when you do this, it brings out the cold in you, especially for us ladies, brings out the cold in you. So I do that. I may only make sure. If I can do it twice in a month, then I do once. To come down to the mud bath. Yes. Vinaka, there's a church here. Oh, the ladies, it's Mother's Day today in church. Mostly the ladies will lead the service today, mummies. But it always happens that you get home, the fathers and the children, they cut up all the meat for you and the potatoes and whatever they prepared. They turn around and say, Mama, can you do the cooking? And you turn around and go, today's Mother's Day. I should be sitting and waiting. Oh, Mom, please. And Mother's Day, like I always say at home, it's every day is Mother's Day. And so that's a village of Natalau. See the little plantation. This is tapioca. We grow tapioca. See, the leaves are like marijuana leaves. And we have them as our staple diet. Like you have your potatoes at home, we have tapioca. And you eat it together with curry or stew or whatever that you prepare at home. So we cut the cuttings and tuck them down into the soil for 6 months, and when they are matured, we uproot them, just like the potatoes. Potatoes 3 to 4 months. We've tried to grow potatoes. It's too hot, too tropical. We did. For us, I grew up in the highland and a daughter of a farmer. It didn't grow out very well, so we import potatoes from New Zealand and Australia. But we grow sweet potatoes of different varieties. We have the yellow, we have the white, we have the red, and we have the purple. Sweet potatoes, yes. Right, so the village of Natalau on to the right, and you might see little guavas are ripe from the tree. They grow wild here when it's guava season. This is the Methodist church, the village of Natalau. See the, that always be the biggest church. There's always be a Methodist church in the village, and then a next big building in the village is the chief's house. So in the village we live with our chief and our tribe, and our Indian families, they live in settlements closer to their farms. So I was talking about the red flag. Let's see, okay, quick look here on the left. This is an Indian family, they have the red flag. So they fence the red flag very well, and every morning and every evening they say their prayer, then they select a day. So a Hindu family, their sacred animal is a cow, they don't eat beef. And their women, they wear what we call sari, okay? And to tell us that they are married woman is just a red dot onto their foreheads. Okay, so they are married Hindu ladies. And for Muslim ladies, the ring will tell you, and they wear what we call the salwar kameez. They cover up. The devoted ones, they cover their face, you can only see their eyes. And for us Fijian is the placing of the flower. Placing of the flower to the right, Mr. Right is there already. So I'm a married woman, mother of 4 boys, married to the 4th generation Irish, so I'm a Mrs. O'Neill. So yes, 4 boys. So that's for us. And those that place the flower over here or at the mud bath place or at the wharf or anywhere that you go, you see the flower on the left, still hunting, looking, trotting and searching. You might come across one place with a flower in the middle of his or her hair. He or she must be desperate. They don't know whether they're going or they're coming. Yes. So that's for us for today. To us, they give us 3 hours, and then we should be boarding again by 12 o'clock or 5 minutes to 12 when you're ready. The air condition is very nice. If it's really hot and sticky out there, and Daya will be about 5 to 12. We can start at boarding, and then we can leave and head straight to the ship. If you want to go down to the city in Lautoka, it's quite a walk from the wharf. Okay? It's quite a walk from the wharf. I heard they said that with those that don't want, you need to just collect $20 from them. I think that's Australia. So you go and then you come back. As long as they do, and then they'll give you something, so they know that you've paid already. They have the staff who look after the shuttle to the city. Yes. So yeah, at the city you have the ATM machine, and I believe you have your ATM. They have the ATM machine in the ship, right? Yes, they do. Well, in this shop that has been organized by the ship in the city, you can use your other currency, or you can also use the credit cards as well. If you see something and you want them to pack and send it earlier than your trip, they can do that as well. Yes. So tapioca, tapioca plantation. We grow bananas. Can you see these big leaves here, long leaves here? Plantain we grow, and for the vegetable we grow bok choy, snake beans, okra, and also some that just grow grow wild in the field. We also have them as spinach. And we grow watermelon, pineapple, papaya. We can't grow apple here, and pears, and kiwi or grapes. It's too hot. So the only ones that we import is the apple and the pears and the grapes and kiwi fruits. But apart from that, our mangoes, they grow wild here when it's mango season time. They grow wild. We also grow breadfruits that was brought in by Captain William Bligh. On the way from Fiji out, and then I think he was killed in Tahiti on his way out. Captain William Bligh. And also they have a place where you will put, and they will always allocate a staff that look after the bags while you go in and you enjoy your mud pool bath over there. And I'll be around as well, okay? Well, because, okay, the mountain range ahead of us, some people are going on the Orchid Garden tour today. We just came past the road that turns into the Orchid Garden. I think that's the way the ship was selling all these packages. Okay, if you're gonna get to the mud pool, if it clears, then you can see the mountain range. You look like a sleeping woman and a sleeping man. Yes. But from there is his head. You come down to its neck. And then the foot of the sleeping man is where the Orchid Garden is located. Yes. When we get to the mud pool, then you can see when it's clear. It's nice and clear. Little Aviva Farm that we are crossing over. Also have a little restaurant here as well. But it's not for us today. And a little horse race place. Anybody from Melbourne in Australia? No? Oh yes. All right. See our Fiji Melbourne cup race here, and you can see the horses are right out there. So it's a Viva Farm. It's Sunday, so no betting, no racing, eh? Yes. So all these animals were introduced to us. They are not native to Fiji. Was introduced to us by early settlers and early missionaries that arrived in those days. And we named them by the sound they make. The goat go meh, and then you said, oh na meh, when you look at the goat. And then the cow go boo ma, na bulu macau. The horse na ose. The sheep na sipi. The dog go coo coo coo. Na coli. And the cat na pussy. There you go, na pussy. Yes. Right. I know, that's why I always go, now the cat, and everybody go meow meow. Na pussy. There you go. Yes. So they were all introduced. They're not native to Fiji. We don't have alligators in the river like our other Pacific island, Vanuatu and the Solomons. They have crocodiles in the river. We don't. That's why when we sell Fiji as a destination, come and go up trekking. Some people are going on the zip line today. They bought the package, so they go to go and see the waterfall. So there's no alligators in the streams and rivers. No monkeys, no tigers. The only wildlife that we have was the Pacific boa constrictor that they found a lot in the sugarcane field. So our Indian families brought a mongoose. So if you on the tour and you see a little brown creature with fur runs across the highway, that's a little mongoose. They did a good job. They kill the snakes and they eat them. So some are out in the jungles right now. It has been extinct as well. The Pacific boa constrictor. And our wild birds are the parrot. Yes, so we don't have of those sorts of wild animals here. So we only have that Pacific boa constrictor. And then you have the sea snakes. They just feed on the shells and those tiny little fish in the reef. When you go snorkeling, at times you find them as well. Yeah, so Garden of the Sleeping Giant that we came past, those that were going today were wanting to see the orchid gardens today. And because of this big island, it is of volcanic origin. That's why volcano mountains, and the result of it will have mud pools. And places in Fiji, you have mud pools and hot springs. So another 2-3 minutes we should be arriving. Okay. And once they all welcome us, we'll go there, and Chief John will take the Chipley seats, and you'll remember that you will receive the first bowl. So Mrs. Chief and everybody. So the man will be sitting down, everyone. They'll provide chairs for all of us. Today. There you go, that's the bulbacao, and all these little plants here are guava. They just grow wild here. Okay, so when it's the season for guavas, they're just starting. You will see the little ripe guavas in the trees. So Mama at home, they do homemade jam at home. You bring everything with you at the place, because if you want to change let us know if you wanted to do massage. So we'll go on to the first one. So by